Hello everybody. Today we're going to be doing pH calculations as well as calculations with concentration of hydroxide and the concentration of H plus ions. The first type we're going to be looking at is going from having the concentration of H plus ions to trying to figure out what the pH is. And to do that, we're going to use this equation here where we take the concentration of H plus and just put negative log in front of it on the calculator. The answer will be the pH. So let's see how that works. So for the first one, we're going to use negative log 8.7. I like to use E times 10 to the negative 6. And we get a pH of 5.06, which is acidic. Again, if we want to do the next one, do negative log 1.3 second comma times 10 to the negative 3, and another acid. Let's call this pH of 2.89. Why don't you try C for yourself? Now let's take a look at the next type. If we have the pH and we want to go backwards to get the concentration of H plus ions, we can just raise 10 to the negative pH. So if we have a base like here, 10 to the negative 12, and we get a concentration of 1 times 10 to the negative 12. If the pH is 1.4, we follow the same procedure to negative pH, and we get an H plus concentration that is quite high. Let's put M after this for molarity. And again, you can try C on your own. Get a hang of this on the calculator. A different type of problem is if you're given the concentration of hydroxide. In this case, we're going to have to use this equation. And a couple things you should know about this. It comes from this equation, which is the concentration of hydroxide ions and H plus ions in water. And the product of these two is always equal to the same thing. 1 times 10 to the negative 14. And since we know the product of them is always the same, and we know that they equal Kw, we can rearrange this equation to solve for H plus here. And then this problem is asking you for pH. Once you have H plus, it becomes a problem just like this. And you're going to use this up here. So let's look at A. Kw is 1 times 10 to the negative 14. And we're going to divide that by the concentration of hydroxide here. 8.7 times 10 to the negative 6. And we get an H plus of 1.15 times 10 to the negative 9, but we want the pH. So we're just going to negative log, and then I like to use second and the minus sign, which gives you ANS. ANS means answer, and it will just take the answer saved from the last problem you did and plug it in. And we get a pH of 8.93. Slightly basic. Let's try another one. Again, we always start with Kw, which is known, 1 times 10 to the negative 14, divided by whatever concentration they gave you. In this case, 1.2 times 10 to the negative 3. We get an H concentration, H plus, and we need to negative log that. Another way to copy this answer is to scroll up, highlight the answer, and press enter. And it will copy that answer where your cursor previously was. Now we get a pH of 11.08. You can go ahead and try part C, and hopefully this helped you understand how to do calculations involving pH, hydroxide concentration, and the concentration of H plus ions. Have a wonderful night.